So today's Saturday scent is going to be different from what I used to do in the previous weeks where I review men's fragrances. Today I have with me two fragrances, a man's and a women's. I'm going to talk about these and then I'm going to compare these two with other fragrances that I don't have with me, but if you know them and if you have tried them, you would expect that these two that I'm going to talk about are similar to these ones. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to talk about today. I have two fragrances. One is the Nikos Sculpture for Homme, and this is a men's fragrance, and the other one is the Paris Hilton Midnight in Paris, not Midnight, Passport in Paris. So Passport in Paris, this has been released in 1995 and this has been released in 2010, so very long time span between the two releases. But I'm comparing these because they smell really similar and you will know what I'm talking about once I start comparing the two. So I hope you enjoy spending time with me, and if you are interested in knowing about these two fragrances, then yes, please keep watching. Alright, so I'm going to start by reviewing the Paris Hilton Passport in Paris. This has been released in 2010 and this happened to be one of my favorite fragrances for a while. I'm not sure if you could see, this is the 100 ml bottle and I've used most of it, but recently I've stopped using it for one reason, is because I smelt 3 men's fragrances that smell like that. And I'm not saying that this is closer to a men's fragrance, I'm saying that the other men's fragrances that I smelled are somehow unisex and could be worn by both men and women. So let's talk about projection and longevity of this one. When you spray it, it radiates at about 2 arms length, so it means that it projects well. For a celebrity fragrance, this is very impressive, and the longevity on the skin is very good. Actually, it lasts on the skin for more than 7-8 hours, let's say. So I am very impressed with that. It is sweet, fruity, vanilla fragrance, but at the same time it is more sophisticated than other fragrances that you might smell in celebrity perfumes. Although the bottle looks very playful and girly, but the smell itself is somehow sophisticated and could be worn by women who are over 25 years old. This is an absolutely sexy fragrance. This one is really special because the fruity and floral notes are toned down by amber and patchouli on the base that makes it a bit more solid, if you know what I mean. The first thing that I'm smelling is definitely peach, some orange, so the opening is very fresh and sweet fruity. And to be honest, this is more suitable to be worn in the evening or in the winter, because I think for the summer it is too sweet. The heart of this fragrance is very floral but is still sweet because of the honeysuckle. It also contains gardenia and jasmine. I bet that any man who would smell this on a woman would fall in love with that. And the most amazing thing about this fragrance actually is the transition from the top to middle notes and to the base notes. It is very harmonious, and this is very rare to find in celebrity fragrances actually. It settles into a patchouli, vanilla of course, with some amber. It is just very rich. I totally recommend this because this is very affordable. I think you could buy this 100 ml bottle for about $15, £10 if you could find it in a sale. So very worth checking. Alright, so now moving to the other fragrance, which is the men's fragrance that is actually similar to this one by Paris Hilton, which I've just shown you, and it is also a very affordable fragrance and it receives many compliments by many people who have tried it or worn it. And I'm here talking about the Nikos Sculpture for Homme. This is the box so that you don't mix this with the other versions or editions of this sculpture by Nikos. This is the bottle. It looks very cute and it stands like that. This fragrance has been released in 1995. I'm going to spray it on my wrist so that I could compare both. People, this is definitely a unisex fragrance. I could wear it myself actually, and I think it is good for this reason. But the opening smells very fresh. I'd have to say this is more fresh than the Paris Hilton. The Paris Hilton is more tropical. This one is more vibrant and in your face, but it is still sweet because it still has this mandarin orange in the opening, but I think it has other notes, so let me show you. I'm not sure if you could see, the opening notes are very zesty. There is bergamot, orange, and on the heart you see that we have rose, jasmine, lily of the valley, and geranium, and all of these are just flowers that fit very well in any female fragrance. It is like an orange juice with some jasmine and orange blossom as well. The base of this one contains amber, cedarwood, and tonka bean, so it makes it very sensual and smooth, creamy at the same time. So I think this is an excellent purchase if you are a lover of sweet fragrances and that you don't mind wearing them, because as I said, man or women could wear this very easily. Projection of this one is very good, 2 arms, 3 arms length, and the longevity on the skin, it is absolutely amazing. It lasts for about 7 hours, maybe 8, and I don't know, for some reason these two smell very similar because probably they share some notes. The mandarin orange on the opening, and they both have rose and jasmine. If you like very strong orange blossom scents with some floral and amber base, I think you will appreciate this one. So yes, I give this thumbs up, but for me this is more suitable for someone who doesn't care about wearing a very masculine fragrance, or for a girl who is just carefree and enjoying life. So yes, this is how I describe this Nikos Sculpture for Homme. I don't know if you remember in the beginning I told you that this Paris Hilton fragrance reminded me of 3 men's fragrances, and I only talked about one, but I think I should just mention the other 2 so that you know what I'm talking about, and if you have tried the other fragrances you might be able to compare these 2 that I talked about today with the ones that you have tried. And the fragrance I'm talking about is the Versace Dreamer, and this has been released a year after the Nikos Sculpture. It was released in 1996 and it is absolutely very similar, so I think this gives it a minus point, the Versace one, because when it released a fragrance that is very similar to the Nikos one, although it smells good, but I think that the Nikos is still better because it is the original and it shares many notes with the Dreamer by Versace. So on the opening it also has mandarin orange, but the Dreamer is more aromatic because it contains lavender. But in the heart there are 2 main notes that exist in the Dreamer as well, which are the rose and the geranium flower, and the Dreamer contains a very slight hint of tobacco, which makes it a bit more masculine, let's say, and more creamy and sophisticated. But hold your thought, if I want to compare the 2, I would say that the Nikos Sculpture projects better and lasts on the skin for the same amount of time that the Dreamer does. It lasts for a very long time, the Versace Dreamer, but it is more of a skin scent, like a very luxurious skincare cream that lingers on the skin, so it smells very nice but it doesn't project. And finally I want to mention the last one, which is a very affordable fragrance as well and also similar to this one, and it is by Frank Olivier and it is called Sanjava. It is very affordable. It comes in a black bottle, black glass bottle, and this one is totally unisex. It's very juicy, very sweet. It opens with mandarin orange as with these 2, but in addition to this, in the opening the middle notes contain watermelon, which is the main ingredient of this fragrance, which makes it very fruity, very juicy, and more suitable for a woman in my opinion. I had this one, I hope I could show you the bottle, but it was stolen, believe it or not. And the base also contains musk, amber and vanilla, and this one, the Sanjava, was released in 2005 and it also receives many compliments because it projects very well and lasts on the skin for a very long time, but it is too heavy to be worn in the summer in my opinion, although it contains watermelon and this makes it very juicy, but on a man it's just too sweet. But anyway, if you love this one, or if you have tried it or tried the Dreamer, you would expect that the Nikos sculpture and the Passport in Paris by Paris Hilton would be very similar. So this is the end of it. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me and that you found this review helpful for you. And of course, I'll see you again very soon next Saturday for another scent review. Until then, please be safe and have a lovely weekend. Bye!